How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday. Here we are. How's it going? Woo! I thought I was first, but I guess Quindor was first. Thanks for being first, man. How's it going? All right. Edon, Windows Man, Mr. Fixers, hello. Hello, Father Time, the bug. It's just hanging out. Although, we did go to the parade in Preston this past weekend because it was rodeo weekend, so they do parade. In fact, they do parade like 3 days in a row. And I thought, oh, next year I'm going to have to get the bug. That bug's going to have to be in the parade, you know, advertising for the Hobbit house. So how's it going? All right. Tony, good evening from the UK. Richard, oh, good. Victor, awesome. Fixing my Mac for Home Assistant VM. Ooh, good luck. Hope that works out. That's funny. Windows man, you're fixing your Mac for Home Assistant VM. That's funny. Oh, man. Magic Midge, Hector, how's it going? Ryan, Yona, woo, all right, how's everybody doing? I am feeling, what is the new setup for Sonoff? Ooh, I don't know. What about it, Jorge? Tell me what you're trying to do. This is going to be, I think, a lot of troubleshooting. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like yawning. Oh, that's exciting. I'm feeling like answering a lot of questions. I'm feeling like maybe going through messages and emails and things that I've gotten from people that are having troubles. Because sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do to troubleshoot. Quindor knows, and probably some of the other guys that have helped out on the forums and Discord and stuff. It's hard. Troubleshooting somebody else's system is hard when you're not there looking at it. I know so often I feel like, you know, somebody writes me and says they're having this problem, and they do a good job of trying to describe what the problem is. And I just know that if I was there and I could hold it in my hands and play with it for 5 minutes, we'd get it fixed. But doing it long distance is pretty hard to do. What the heck? Huh. Okay. Anywho, Sonoff LAN is not working anymore. Oh no! Can you cover the setup for the new Cat 5 for DigQuad? Yeah, Ryan, let's do that. Let's talk about that a lot, because one of the problems that I've had people tell me about is they're trying to get the Ethernet version of DigQuad working, and they don't. And one of the problems that they've talked about is having like both the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet version working at the same time. What the heck is that? Son of a gun. All right. Roll call. How's it going, Streetwise? You didn't miss roll call. You're there just in time. Sonoff LAN's not working anymore. That's interesting. Does anybody know anything about that? Hey, Piston, how's it going? Boss Man, evening. Phil, how's the Hobbit project? Okay, you guys ready for the sneak peek? Literally just hooked up my first DigQuad that I bought from you to my first strip of 6812. Seems to be working well. Okay, good. You can use the robot in the operating room to be there but not be there. I wish. Okay, you guys ready for the sneak peek? I kind of prepared a sneak peek for you. It's only going to be for a second. Ready? What do you think? The grass is a little dead up here, and it's plenty alive down here, but we did some work this weekend on the front. We got some flowers out here now, too, that you can't see, but what do you think? There it is. There it is. Woohoo! Okay, there you go. A Tuya smart fireplace. Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's talk about, let's go through some of the Ethernet DigQuad problems. And Quindor's here, so he can probably help out too if I lead you astray. Move some of these things out of the way, because I got a lot of stuff here. See if I can get some of this going. All right. Now, you don't really need to see what I've got down here, but that's what I've got. So This is just a dig quad with the Ethernet. Okay, dig quad Ethernet, pretty simple. Okay, so I won't show that again unless I think we really need to. All right, so let's connect up power supply. Oop, after a little Dr. Pepper. Can't do it. I don't know anything about this. Excited for finally my blue delivered. Up and running in 2 hours flat. Sweet. What does anybody know about this Sonoff LAN not working? What do you guys know about this? Because I've honestly been neglecting my Home Assistant instance in general lately. So I don't know. I'm not up on the latest. All right, so had to just dial in the correct voltage here on the power supply. All right, so there's some lights. Let's see. There we go. Okay, lights. All right. Now, the first thing that people have said that they run into trouble with is there's been a couple people who have connected up one of these Ethernets and then they go and connect to the access point. And there's no access point for me here. And there shouldn't be, right, Quindor? There shouldn't be. So I'm guessing that if somebody, I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on. I'm guessing that if somebody is connecting their ESP32 Ethernet version like this, and they're getting a wLED access point here, they've got the wrong version of wLED. So let's turn that off. I'm going to now, we're going to reflash this. We did this before. We did this last week. You shouldn't need to, okay? You should not need to. Yes, look at this. Quindor says, out of the box from us, it's flashed with the Ethernet on directly. If you flash the normal LED version, you need to enable Ethernet over Wi-Fi access point first. Any idea on when the Ethernet boards are getting restocked? Am I out of them? Am I out of them? Oops, don't go there. You don't want to see that. I think I still have some. And what I don't have is Unos. I'm out of the Unos, I think. The whole point of the Ethernet ports is do away with Wi-Fi. Right. Amen. I'm going Ethernet. I don't want that. I want DrZzs. Shop. I'm sure the Unos are out, but am I out of quads with Ethernet? I don't think so. I got a pile of orders here I haven't filled, so that's maybe part of it. Ethernet. Yeah, so I still got some Ethernet. I just don't have any Unos. And let's look and see. Do I have any Unos of any kind? Ethernet. So I do have some external antennas. So what I can do is take some of these external antenna ones and turn them into Ethernet ones by taking some off of the quads. So I need to just sit down and do that. I can do it maybe sometime this evening. So if you wanted an Uno, who was asking? Clint? No. Yes. So if you want a quad, we have them. If you want an Uno with the Ethernet, give me a day and I'll put a few. I'll probably just do like 10 or something. And take some of my external antenna Unos, turn them into Ethernet Unos. Whatever you do, don't put in an order and say I want an Ethernet. Don't order an external antenna and put a note or something that says you want an Ethernet. I'll probably miss it. Please do a video countdown like I used to do. Ofer. Like, what do you mean video countdown? What you mean? What you mean? I need to do lots of things like I used to do. Bought some quads and Unos while waiting for the Ethernet development. I was just going to get the Ethernet board separately. Oh. Well, I should be able to do that too. The whole point of this was to mix and match. I swear I turned off the ads here. I don't know why they're still there. Maybe it's my cache or something. Okay, so you mean in here, you want this. And I'm sure I've got this as 0. But I could still do that. Okay, so how many are you gonna want? Because I could just go in here and do the same thing. I'll just go and I will cannibalize some from the. I used to do a YouTube video reminder saying you will go live in X amount of time. Oh, I should try. I'm trying to make things more regular. I'm trying to get back into a regular routine. Who's there? Hi, what's this? Oh, thanks. Mwah. Thanks, baby. Hi. Gracie says hi. She made me a smoothie. Thanks, Gracie. It's yummy. A couple is fine. Okay, cool. Well, give me a few hours today, Clint. I'll put some up tonight. Worldwide stores are best. Couldn't be able to sell them at the price you can get them from locally in the EU, basically. So you can play WAP on my house? What's WAP? What is WAP? What is the WAP? Okay. So we were in the middle of doing something. Oh yeah, we were going to reflash this so we could see the process. So I do get this a lot of times too. When you buy these from myself or from Quindor, most of the time you don't need to flash anything. If you're buying just the board like this, okay, if you're buying just one of these, you can choose to not have any firmware on it. But if you choose to have firmware on it, or if you get an Uno or a quad, because Unos and quads always have firmware on them. So Unos and quads will always come with firmware. Pixel Pro comes with firmware too. If you're buying just this board, unless you say no firmware, it will come with firmware on it. So when you get these, I think we have a lot of people that run into problems because they get one of these and they try and flash it right away. And you don't need to. You don't need to. I say it all the time. Oh, it stands for wireless access point. Oh yeah, I knew that. What is that about? Can't wait until my lights are up so I can play WAP on my house. So I can play wireless access point on my house? That makes no sense. Don't go there. Not safe for work. Oh boy. Recommendations: 5 volt, 10 amp power supply. The one that I have voltage gets all screwed up and stops working. Very not safe for work. Oh, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, Ryan. Somebody was saying Meanwell. I mean, Meanwell are good power supplies. It's a Cardi B song, not safe for work. Okay, yeah, I'm too old to know. I couldn't even tell you if I was at the grocery store and Cardi B was standing in front of me buying potato chips, I wouldn't even recognize her or him. I think it's a her. That's as much as I know. Anywho, so if you get one of these, first thing I need to tell you is you don't have to flash it, most likely. But if you've already done so, then let's go through the process so that we can help folks who have made a boo-boo. Here we go. So we'll go through the flashing process here, and we're going to do it the new and awesome way. Any suggestion on a Wi-Fi door sensor that works with if this, then that, and eWeLink? Ooh. If this, then, well, the only things that work with wLED are going to be Sonoff's things, because wLED is Sonoff's app. That's it. If I have a DigiQuad, can I add an Ethernet board? Yes, but you do need to get it. You need to get them together, right? So we don't have just the top. In fact, it doesn't even. Does it want to come off? Yeah. Oh yeah, it does come off. You basically want to buy them together like this. So this has the ESP32 underneath and then the Ethernet board on top. This is what you want. We haven't been, I don't know what the plan is there, Quindor. Is the plan to ever sell just these Ethernet boards on top? I don't think so, because you'd have to resolder. The point is, you'd have to resolder all those pins because it's got this extra long, I don't even know how well you can see them, but it's got these extra long pins on top. See, there you go. So it's got the bottom pins to go into the DigUno or DigiQuad, and then the top pins to go into the bottom of the Ethernet board. So if you have a DigiQuad right now, it probably has one of these on it, and it doesn't have these pins sticking up. So, and basically unsoldering and resoldering them would not be worth the, whatever it is, 10 or 15 bucks it's going to cost to just get a new one. So when you buy an Ethernet version, it'll come like this. So you'll get a whole new ESP32 and the Ethernet hat. Okay. That you can take and just swap out what you have on your DigiQuad and put this on. But when you do, you got to make sure you do this. Those pins are custom to make it all work snug. And desoldering is a beep. Yeah, just don't solder. Just don't try and desolder them. And this is coming from people who do a bit of soldering. Only 17 minutes late, DJ. Well, you're just in time. 17 minutes late is just in time. No plans to sell just the Ethernet top hat. Yeah, good. That's good because of that soldering issue. You'd end up having to desolder and put on new pins, and it would not be worth it. Can I put a link to those in the chat? To this? Unless it's something else. Almost missed it. Some call it fun. No, we're just getting started. We are just getting started. Somebody's coming to say hi. Hello, Zachy. What's up, buddy? Just come and say hi? Good. Come say hi. Zachy's here without a head. He's got his, I was going to say, I'm not going to say. No, I'm going to go put on. Does Ethernet change the X-Lite's setup? Not really. Not really, Scott. You'll still have the IP address. If I remembered, I mean, it's been a little bit since I played with X-Lites, but you'll just need your IP address when you go to put your DigiQuad controller or Uno, whatever, into X-Lites. You just need the IP address. What do I think about the Sonoff Zigbee bridge? Seems like a good idea. Sonoff Zigbee bridge. Do I have one? If I have one, I haven't been using it. But I guess that's what somebody was saying about the wLED. I guess if you have the Zigbee bridge, you could use a wireless Zigbee sensor for the door that's not related to Sonoff. Zachary's joining me. Okay, let's do this. So once you get if you had to flash this and you wanted to flash it for some reason, but again, you don't need to do this, but assuming that somebody made a mistake and decided that they were going to flash it, then the next thing you need to do is go to install.wled.me. Okay? Install.wled.me. Right here. Okay? What's that? You're bad?
No, I was looking at this.
Oh, there's some boxes in the way back there. It's just all these boxes. I wouldn't worry about it. There's too many. Okay. Okay. All right. When you do go to install this, so when you do go to use this to install wLED, whoa, making it bigger. Looky here. My board has Ethernet. So you must click this. Okay? You must click this. I don't know. let's see. So you can do sound reactive, you can do beta. Okay, fine. But anyways, you must click this, and then you can flash. So let's go ahead and install that. Just do that now. This tells you which ones it's going to be. It's going to be, in my case, it's going to be this one right here, USB serial. And if you're not sure, this is what I've done. If you're not sure which one it is, just disconnect it. And the one that you disconnect, or the one that if you disconnected it, the one will disappear, and that's it. And you reconnect it, and it reappears, so that's how you know which one it is. Okay, so we're going to connect that one. You do still have to have the driver for this. No, not for real, just a joke. I don't know what I'm missing. First live in some time. Woohoo! LED balloon, let's do this for you. Farting unicorns. I think it should get wLED lighting when the dock receives it. What's that? The Hoobit hole? I gotta go back and see. Are the Dig boards work with WS2815s? Yes, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Have you ever seen Dwayne's dashboard for Home Assistance? Awesome dashboard with a lot of customization. I don't think I have. I'm not sure. I've heard of that one. Works fine most of the time, but mine drops off every day and I have to have a smart plug cycle it. Uh-oh, what is that, Streetwise? Is that your, is that a LED controller or is that something else? How can I add a fade out when my lights are turning off instead of on off? Arjun, you want to fade out when your lights are turning off. So like when you click the off switch, I don't know. You can do it if you do it by a timer. You can have it slowly dim if it's going off by a timer, but I don't know about if you just flip the off switch. Does anybody else know that answer? I'm not sure. I think if you flip the off switch, it just goes off.
That's my out.
Yeah. Zach's like, that makes sense.
Off switch means off.
That's why you're so smart, Zachy. Yeah. With bullets, I believe I can have like 800 pixels running off that. Any recommendation for meanwhile power supply size and wire gauge? So you want 800? It's Spidey. It's always about how many pixels you have. So if you want to do the easy way, let's see, where's my calculator? Okay, so if you have 800 pixels, 800, and then this is what I do, times 0.02. This is going to give you the amps. So 16. 16 amps. 800 pixels, 16 amps. So buy a 20 amp power supply. You could do it with less, but 0.02, it's pretty good. Pretty good guesstimation. And that's it. What else did you ask? You said 800 pixels, power supply, wire gauge. Wire gauge. If you go look at the NEC, the National Electrical Code, it'll tell you if you're going to go 16, you're going to need like a number 14 or something like that wire, and that's too big. 18 gauge is fine in most instances. The other thing you can do if you're going, you're going to use, if you're going to use 18 gauge wire, you can, with 800 pixels, are you 5 volt pixels? 12 volts. So 12 volts, you might, with 800, you're probably going to need to voltage inject somewhere along the way. So if you use 18 gauge wire and voltage inject at least once, you'll be fine. You should be fine. Because every time you do that, you half the current. So even if you had it using the whole 16 amps on an 18 gauge wire, it's probably, that's going to be beyond what the NEC would tell you to do. I'm sure it's fine. It's not going to get hot. But if you used, 18 gauge at one end of the strip and 18 gauge at the other end of the strip, or 18 gauge in the middle and then at one end or something like that, you'd be fine. So 18 gauge wire, 16 amp or 20 amp power supply. How's that? Okay. To fry my pressure. Don't want to fry my pressure. Hey, how's it going? Staggering difference between calculated amperage and what actually goes through the wires is pretty funny. Isn't that the truth? How's it going, Rob? By the way, thanks for the warning on the 100,000. That was fun. Rob was the first one to say, hey, I think you're going to hit 100,000. And then sure enough, next time I looked, I was there at 100,000. How long did it take you to get your play button, Rob? That was a long time ago. Rob, you're like $250,000 or more now, huh? Are you 500,000 yet? How's retirement? All right, let's look here and see if we got... So there is a wLED access point. So that must be because this thing is connected... Oh, maybe it's because it's not connected over Ethernet. Let's try this. Now that we've got that flashed on there correctly, we're going to plug in Ethernet and then power it, and then we'll see if that access point goes away. Shouldn't be there. Still working on troubleshooting. Yeah, Nicholas, I'm kind of doing this for you right now. Downgrade your iPhone 4. Good luck. So I wonder why it's still showing up as a wLED access point. Well, don't connect to this. I don't think you need to connect to that. You just connect it to your router. We're going to go to the router and see if we can find it. I should be able to find it on the app. So we're just going to go to the app. wLED app plus discover lights. It might tell me it didn't find any new lights because it probably has the same IP address as it had before. Oh, nope, that's that one. Normally you connect, then go to Wi-Fi settings, Quinn LED LAN, and that enables LAN. Oh, is that right? So so that's what you already did. Okay, so let's go here. This is probably not going to work because it's my funky thing. I screwed up and didn't press the send me my play button on my YouTube console for like 2 months. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing you had to do. Oh my gosh. Okay, well let's go there. We got to do that. I don't want to wait 2 months to hit that button. So customize channel. Let's see. Dashboard content monetization. Basic info. Branding. Oh, where is my send me my play button? Get in my belly. Comments, subtitles, copyright. Oh, look at that. A bunch of people have used my videos. Oh, okay, that's semi-smart. Anyways, monetization. Settings, channel. Let's see, where is that? Community. I gotta hit that button that says send me my play button. Live play button request. Shows up as a banner at the top of your channel dashboard. $100,000. Create post, go live. Channel analytics. It says it's live count, reach, gauge, audience. So maybe it takes them a bit to process that, even though it says 100,000. Even though it says 100,000, it doesn't. We don't have that banner. So I'll just keep checking. And see what happens. Maybe it'll come back. News. You've asked for delivered chips. I don't know what that's about. Okay, well. Oh well. We'll come back and get it another time. Because don't think it was there. Prime UFO Super Chat. Thank you. Thank you. When you said you'd be late, I didn't expect minutes. Hey, sir, good enough. Problem was that I had like 3 other notification banners I never dismissed. So I didn't notice the play button one. Oh. I will check back frequently. Might take a week or 2. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. So that didn't find that access point. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go here. So Nicholas, maybe this is what you need to do. So keep watching. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to connect to this access point. Hopefully, we'll see if it connects. I still have trouble with these access points sometimes. Usually. Okay. Okay. Connect. Nicholas, did you reflash yours? You expect hours? I got home sooner than I expected. So that's nice, right? Anyone know how to vertically mount a TV? Ikafar, what are you doing? Vertically mounting a TV. Okay, we're going to go to 4.3.2.1. And here we go. We're going to go to Wi-Fi settings. And let's see, where is it? Oh, here it goes. Ethernet type. Oh, maybe that's why. So maybe that's why. Maybe right here. Nicholas, didn't you, or maybe it was somebody else. Somebody else told me that they had WT32 ETH01 enabled. Use the wLED ESP32. Use that one. Is that you, Nicholas, or is that somebody else? Mount your room vertically. Your TV will be okay. Yeah, just turn your room on its side. There you go. So there you go. That's where it is. I did not know that was there. All right, now we can go save and connect. And now I'm going to plug in the Ethernet cable. And now maybe this access point will go away, huh? I'm waiting for the access point to go away. Now we should be able to find it because it should just get to connect to my network. Yep, there it goes. Okay, yep, there's a new one. 18. Okay. 1.8. But that's it. Right there. This is the new one. What do you think? John, you just got back from my neck of the woods. Were you up in like Yellowstone and all that stuff, or where were you? Had the quad freezing up issue. I did reflash it. Okay, so did you get that part right? Did you see what we just did there? When the Wi-Fi setup down here. This, make sure it's wLED ESP32. You did. Okay, but then you have a problem with it freezing up, huh? That is weird. Okay, and once it's there, I guess maybe you still can get this access point popping up, huh? Because I guess maybe as long as you don't have anything in here, it's going to keep popping up the access point. St. George and Zion. Is this quad directly plugged into your computer or is it on a switch? It's on the switch. See, directly plugged into your computer, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Like you can't just go from here to your Ethernet port on your computer. I would not imagine that would work. I had one Ethernet board out of 8 that does not like to connect via Ethernet. I can sometimes trick it by using a static IP, but mostly it doesn't work. Oh, that's interesting. And that's one of these, huh, Rob? One of these quads? So, I'm going to disconnect this. Poof. And then reconnect here. Oh, and I've had people say, oh, this thing fell off. Because this extra little tab holder or pin holder falls off. And you don't need that anyways. Oh, my eyeballs are so bad. Oh, I used to be young. It wasn't even that long ago. Okay. There we go. All right, now I got that on there. I can turn that on there. Okay. Where's my lights? Where's my lights on? Dun, 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 dun. Oh. No. What happened? I even moved the hat to a working board. I think the hat is bad. Oh, man. Young with great sight. Those are the days, huh, Theo? Maybe leave it to DHCP and forget the IP or rely on the host name. You ever notice when you fill orders? Did I fill an order for you, Rob? I did not notice. You're not supposed to do that. You're just supposed to tell me, hey, can you send me this? And I say yes. That's how it works. That is what I was afraid of. I'm new to networking stuff. Oh, man. Yeah. So, I don't think it's going to work to just plug it right into your computer. That's not going to work. If that's what you try to do. Directly plugging into the computer can work with static IP set. My Ethernet supports auto MDIX. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it. Saw one on his last video. He got one somewhere. Linux says, hey, can you send me a quad Uno? So why did that stop working? What did I do differently? Oh, was it output pin? What changed here? Oops. So when you reflash, you might cause yourself problems. You said that's how it works. Yeah, set the LED pins. Yeah, that's what I need to do. LED preferences. So this is a good reason why wouldn't you need a crossover cable to connect directly to a computer? Yeah, so Mr. Hankey, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? You can't just take a regular old cable and connect it to a computer and then to a device and have it work. Tinsel, how you doing? I'm great. How are you? If you bridge your Ethernet with your Wi-Fi adapter, maybe because it has to connect to the network at some point. I don't know. All right. Anyways, the pin. Hardware setup. WX pin 2. Do I need to not be pin 2 anymore? I can't remember what pin does it need to be in. See, this is why you don't mess with it. What pin does it need to be? Don't need crossover if you have MDI. Well, so Nicholas, as he said, 16 and 3. Okay. Thanks. Oh yeah, 16. I should have known that. And 3 if I'm doing a second. Yeah, there's 16. Now it's working. Yep. So I had somebody message me with a problem, and I'm very curious about this. So they had, thank you, Phil, 16, 3, 4, and 1. They had the problem where they were running 700 LEDs, 702, I think it was, or something like that. And, yep, that's it. I thought that was the problem. That makes me feel so smart. So if you go here, they had said they had a whole bunch of LEDs, right? Yeah, let's see, that's not working at all now. Oh yeah, there it goes. Just a little bit bright. Little bit. But I'm thinking that if they get to a certain point here, that the LEDs will go off because, yep, that's it. Yay! Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, well, they're kind of coming on. Because it's limiting the current. So if you try and go too bright, that's weird. Yeah, it's just going off. But if we change this LED preferences and we change this to something like that, now it should come back on. Yep, that's it. Oh my gosh, I'm so smart. Did that make sense to anybody but me? Did you see what I was doing? Okay, so here's what happened to this other fellow that was writing me. So he had 703 LEDs or something like that he was running off of his Uno or Quad or whatever. But what happened? Yeah, exactly. There you go, Rob. Exactly. 700 LEDs limited to 850 milliamps is like 0% brightness. That's exactly what was happening. So he was saying that if he set it to 703 or 702, I can't remember what the number was, then it would work. But as soon as he set it to 704 or anything above that, it would stop working. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Pretty sure, and that's what it was. What? One on the LED count, one the other. Hey, Jordan, how's the beard, man? How's the beard? Bum, 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 bum. All right, almost right. Okay, any idea what could cause a dull output from a dig quad or two separate lines? One 349, the other 292. Power injection is good all the way. Michael, is that kind of what we're talking about? Did you change? Brightness is set to 100%, but did you change this? This. Either turn it off or change this number to something high enough. What do I need to wire a line in connection from PC to ESP32 running wLED? We might have to have somebody else weigh in on this, Prawn, because I don't know that you can just go from your computer to an ESP32 with an Ethernet cable. To me, that just doesn't compute. Maybe if there's a special cable or you have to tell your computer to talk to it or something. But basically, what you should have is some sort of Ethernet switch on your network. Your computer can be plugged into that Ethernet switch, and then that Ethernet switch needs to be also plugged into your wLED board, right? Mini me on the way. Wife has already knit him a hat with a beard for the baby photos. Yes! That's going to be good. That's going to be good. No sound input. Crossover cable, manually set the IP for each device. Yeah. So it sounds like a bad idea. Just don't do it. Just get a splitter. Just don't do that. I don't think you need that. If you're trying to use an ESP32 with Ethernet, just connect it to your network. Don't connect it directly to your computer. That's just okay. Just don't do that. No crossover cables needed, Quindor says. I came in late, so I'll try that tomorrow at work today. Thanks. Okay, great, Michael. Great. Yeah, try that because I think did you message me about that? Was that you? Somebody did. Because that number, you're talking about 600, almost 600, 640 something LEDs total. If you have this here set to 600 LEDs total, if this is set too low, it's going to just dim the heck out of them and maybe even get them to the point they're not turning on. The other thing to check is these pins. Right? Make sure you've got the right pins set. So 16 is the first one, and then whatever the next one is, 4 and 3 and 2 and something like that. All right? Finished my prototype with wLED and wMOS. Wanted to include a relay working tested from another board, but I'm not seeing any signal coming out. Oh, my dad's calling. I'll have to talk to him in a bit. Any signal coming out GPIO 12 from my wMOS with wLED. Okay. So did you see? So here, relay pin. What did you set? You set it here to D6. Is that the right one? Well, I mean, you've got it. So Pablo, you're doing it with your own own D1 Mini or something, right? So this isn't something that's pre-wired on like a DrZs. So you set this to whatever, but I don't know if it goes by the D number, like D6, or if it goes by the actual GPIO number. I think it goes by the actual GPIO number. So that should be set to GPIO 12, and then active high, that's probably what you want, because when it's low, the relay will turn off. When it's high, it'll turn on. So that should do it right there. So you need that set. Make sure you've got this part set to the relay if you want to control the relay that way. Hopefully that helps. Forget D numbers, always GPIO. Thank you. That's like in medicine we have dumb brand names for drugs and then generic name for drugs. Just everybody use generic name for drugs. Come on, man. Your order has been received. DigQuad multi-channel Wi-Fi controller onboard antenna. Excellent, Linux. Thank you. I will get it out in the mail tomorrow. D numbers are old relics from Arduino time. Only has GPIOs. Oh, good. Go DigQuad. Go DigQuad. Make sure that you don't have segments at different brightnesses. When you use the master brightness, they will be a percentage of the segment brightness. Oh. Ooh. So if you have segments set up, and then you change the master brightness, your segments will be a percentage of the master brightness. Is that what you're saying, Rob? I didn't know that was a thing either. No, thank you. No, thank you. Check all the pins here, including the secret 5th channel. What? There's a secret 5th? Are you telling me the quad is not a quad? It's a penta? The secret 5th channel. Okay, here's where all the pins are. So on an ESP32, 0 is for the button. 15 is external GPIO can be pulled low. Okay. Oh, another 15. Special relay pin. Oh, okay. 5.12 voltage. Okay, good. So if you were using an Uno or quad with Quinn LED, Dig, whatever, I guess, this is maybe only quads. Anyways, it's going to be 15. 15 is going to be your relay pin. So back here, preferences, right here, it's going to be 15 if you want to control a relay with it, right? And then 12, external GPIO, 2, external GPIO, 32. And then you've got AO, which is 36 this is for a microphone. And then 13 for temperature sensor, which we're not putting those on them anymore, I don't think, right? But if you wanted to add one, you can add one. And then 16 is LEDs, 3 is LED, 1 is LED, and 4 is LED. So which is the top secret 5th channel? QR1 is the secret 5th channel. Also has a level shifter and everything like the other LED channels. Oh, 15. So if you want your quad to be a penta, not a pinto, if you want your quad to be a penta, then you can use GPIO 15. So where on the board is that? Let's look at that for a second. Oh, here I've got one over here that doesn't have this an Uno or a thingy on top. Doesn't have a thingy on top. So let's see, where is 15? Is it Q1 you say? Nope, not Q1. Q1R. 5 volts ground, 3 volts, 3, 4, 1 wire. There's AO. Oh yeah, this one has a temperature sensor on it. V5 ground, Q2, Q1 button. Oh, there it is. It's right there. It's right next to this one. Yeah, there it is. Q1 relay, it says. Can't see it, but it says right there. Upside down. Right there. There it is. Q1 relay. So it's actually this screw terminal right here on the end. So if you want your quad to be a penta, that's what you can use. That's so cool. I didn't know that. You were keeping secrets. Dig Quad still has a temp sensor. Uno preassembled doesn't come with one on there anymore. Gotcha. All right. Ryan, currently have 434 pixels up and running off a quad. I power inject every 90. Any issues? Shouldn't be. In fact, I mean, every 90 is probably more than you need. You shouldn't even need to do that many. Are you doing 5-volt pixels or 12? But either way, you shouldn't need it. Always have to keep some stuff a bit secret. If you keep moving, it'll never focus. Probably true. Wondering if you have any issues with the new use X forwarded for and trusted proxies when setting up a domain and SSL. Hark, I've not tried that. I wonder if anybody else can give you any information on that. Hark Dunter, not Dark Hunter. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I have not tried that. Rating your power supply is what should put in for current limit. Yep. Or your wire if you're really going crazy. Just hung here. Had to refresh. Oh, Theo, did you get it back? You got us back? Rewatch the feed later if I can't get to this. If you can answer, what would the setting you would recommend for 400 or 641? Yeah, and then and Jordan's got the right answer for you, Michael. 641 LEDs, you're going to need to power inject in a couple places. I mean, what do you think, guys? About every 250 LEDs, somewhere in there, probably, with 12-volt pixels. Probably going every 250 or so to power inject. And, I don't know. You can always, it depends on how confident you are in not overpowering things. If you're using a very tiny power supply, then maybe keep this low. But otherwise, yeah, if you have a say a 10 amp power supply, then set that to 10,000. But I think it turns off after 6,000, doesn't it? I kind of remember it being like anything after 6,000, it's basically turned off. Maybe it was higher than that. Maybe it wasn't 6,000. Maybe it was something else. Because somewhere, yeah, there you go. So your power supply provides high current. To improve the safety of your setup, please use thick cables, multiple power injection points, and a fuse. Where does that message first start? So about 8,000. I mean, I guess it's probably still, it's probably not turning it off. It's probably still calculating it and limiting it. So there you go. So 7.3 amps, you start getting this message. I used to think that maybe this was just an old version of wLED that I have in mind, but somewhere along the way, I thought that basically once you got above a certain amount here, the limiter was kind of off. But that seems wrong. It should keep going. Anywho. Should work fine up until any number. Yeah, it probably does. I think I'm just misremembering. Every second string to power inject. For 5 volts for sure. And second string, so if you're talking 50 LEDs, so you're going every 100, Chris? You're injecting every 100? Yeah, you're certainly not going to go wrong there. With 12-volt LEDs, you can go farther. So with 5 volts, every other string, yeah, probably, every 100 is a good idea. With 12-volt strings, you can go farther. So 200, 400, 200, 250, somewhere in there. But you can also just, it always is going to depend on how bright you make them. If you keep them fairly dim, which maybe is not ideal, because we have LEDs because we want bright, blinky lights. But if you keep them dim, then then you won't need power injection as often, right? Rave has 780 LEDs, 5 volts on wLED. Okay. How often have you power injected, Rave? Because even no matter how dim you make them, 780 on 5 volts is not going to stay bright all the way to the end, right? the wire might be right there anyway. You may as well pull it in every string break. That's true. That's true. The wire's right there anyways. And you don't have to have a separate pair all the way back to the power supply. You probably should at some point, just for current carrying capacity, but you don't have to if you don't have too many. Mike 47, been a while since you made the stream, became a granddad yesterday. Mike, congratulations on granddadness. Color also makes a difference. Sure, Barry, yep. Because some colors are going to need more current than others, are going to draw more current than others, depending on what they're. If you're just using, just red is different than whatever, orange or something that might be mixing two LEDs. I don't know. It should probably be about the same depending on the brightness, but whatever. Yeah. Color too. This is good. What else? What else, guys? I got red is hungry, green is sleepy. Is that right? Red takes more. 2 power supplies. 1 on each end, 30 amps together. Cool. And that's it. No power injection in between. Just starting at one end of the strip at both ends, so 300 and something basically. All the exact numbers to calculate with. Oh yeah, Quindor. Here we go. Yes. This is all Quindor's big brain science stuff here. Just getting into LED, I might say, is very confusing to a newbie. Yeah, probably true, Chris. Definitely, if you're just starting, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be new. You're going to have vocabulary to learn. Some things you just kind of got to experiment. People might say something and you go, I don't know what that means. So maybe you just got to experiment a little bit. And maybe you blow some stuff up. Probably not a big deal. Man, I'm really missing out. I need to get some more WS2812s and a Dig Uno. Roll on payday. Roll on payday. I need more too. I was just thinking how, like I was playing the other day, I thought, okay, I'm done with the Hobbit house. I will, oh, by the way, I put it away. Excuse my yawning. I said, okay, I'm done with the Hobbit house. So I'm gonna play with LEDs a little bit. So I got this Xiaomi speaker that I got a long time ago that I like. And I got it. That's what I use for my computer sound now. And I thought, oh, I'm going to hook up the audio active version of wLED. That'll be fun. So yeah, it is fun. But anyways, I need to just have a whole bunch of them. Like there's no reason why I don't have LEDs all over the place. And I have at times, and then I've undone stuff and I haven't reset up stuff. When I set my LEDs up last year, I had lots of blue smoke. Oh no, Mike. Oh no. Does anyone else sometimes have issues with Sonoff Basics using ESP Home after updating OTA? Some Sonoff Basics refuse to reconnect. I've checked GPIO 0, etc. Oh man. Aaron here. How's it going? Aaron, you're Aaron from Audio Reactive wLED? Is that you? Are you the mastermind? What's your favorite effect to use on Audio Reactive wLED? Let's see. We're going to turn on Audio Reactive wLED. Oh, it says it's offline. Why would it be offline? That's one of the great things about these Ethernet ones. Not the same. Oh. That's one of the great things about these Ethernet boards is that they don't go offline, right? Tech Turtle, how's it going? Oh, my dad left me a voicemail 13 minutes ago. That's weird. I wonder why. Did I unplug it, maybe? I need to unplug it. Yeah, that's another good reason to have a relay. But I guess you'd have to relay. You have to turn on and turn off the the controller. Man, I know it's working. I'm looking at it. I don't know why it's telling me it's offline. You can see it on my face that it's on. Wonder if it's just being dumb. Maybe it's just being dumb. Oh, there it goes. Now it's on. Dummy. Yep, now it's off. Okay. That just didn't like to work. Oh! On phone tag doesn't work, I guess. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Hey, Z's. Where's Syracuse Lights? I don't see Syracuse Lights. But anyways, how's it going, guys? It's Pixel Head season, isn't it? It's about time to get the Pixel Head season going. Looks like you've been out in the sun too long, yeah, when I do this. Now it looks like I'm part dead. That's fun. That's fun. So this is audio reactive wLED here. Let's see, we're going to go to effects. And there's a lot of these. And it's tricky to get them to do. Like, I was trying to find like the coolest thing to do with them. Because there's a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to find the coolest. And I don't remember what I had one on here that I thought was pretty cool. So the frequency map. Frequency map is pretty cool. Because it when you do stuff, it lights up the LEDs and then they travel all the way along the stream. So that's pretty cool. Frequency, pixels. Okay, so that starts from both ends. You guys can't even see this. Frequency wave. What is this? Where does this one start? In the middle? Hello? What happened to you? No. Grav frequency. Oh, that's from the middle. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. You could sit and just spend a lot of time staring at LEDs and playing with this audio reactive stuff. Looks like you bit. Oh yeah. All right. Well, what else? Who else has a problem? I think we should solve some more problems. That's a good thing to do. Let's solve some more problems. It's so weird that now it's anywho's it's I have my Lumen Cache stuff I thought about looking at. I haven't. It's probably not a great idea to try and like get it out, and I certainly can't teach anybody about it, but I've got it. You guys remember Lumen Cache? Gotta go. See ya, Ikafar. Thanks for being here. So, Lumen Cache. This is the gateway. Do you remember Lumen Cache? You guys know what Lumen Cache is? It's the DC lighting system that I decided to go with for the Hobbit house. Whoa. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh. Oh. Ooh. It's a Raspberry Pi in a very fancy case. This is the Lumen Cache. Looks super interesting. It looks like you're straining yourself. You turn pink when your voice gets louder. Can I solve the problem of world peace? Absolutely. That's easy. Limited edition 100,000 Hobbit sticker giveaway. Missed those stickers. I do need to do better with stickers. I feel like I'm heading in the right direction for sure. Like when I said I was going to get done with this Hobbit hole and then I was going to reassess my life goals. I am doing that. And being here on the stream today proves it, I think. So this is their gateway. This is the Lumen Cache gateway. Ethernet gateway, wired and Wi-Fi. This is probably the Wi-Fi, just a Wi-Fi dongle. And it comes with some mounting screws. This little cable probably goes from here from POM top to next device. So this is how you connect it to the POM. This is just a very fancy, that's an interesting thing. So that must go to the outside of your, of the box, of the container, or the box that you put this whole thing in. It's always easy to make more peace. It'll work or it'll explode. And more LEDs for world peace. That's right. More LEDs for world peace. I'm going to change the color of that. Maybe I'll change it to red. Red. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one. Colors. Red. There we go. Hello. Yeah, now it's red. All right. Anyways, so there's that. I'm going to put this back in here. So what we got to work, what I got to figure out here with this Lumen Cache stuff, now that I've got it in hand, it's just some basics about, like, how does it go together? Like, it's one of these things I've looked at, and then I thought, oh, okay, I understand that. And then I don't have it in hand. And so then I don't know what to do next. All right, so these are the L2CC, constant current drivers. Okay, so these are constant current drivers. And that shows my camera is upside down. I don't like my camera being upside down. Let's fix that. Transform, rotate 180 degrees. Bang! That's better. And then the other thing we need to do is we need to, how do I open that? Can't remember. Properties. Yes. And then configure video, and then we need to stop it from auto-focusing. I like the white balance off. We need to stop the autofocus. I wish I would save this. It just never does. I don't know why. Apply. There we go. Now, that should be better. wLED does E131 and DDP. Does that do... Does the doodad support E131? You mean this little doodad, the Lumen Cache thing? No, I don't think so. You know how I can add a slow fade out for the LED strips and the lighting instead of turning on off when I'm not in the room? That's a good question. Let's look through these settings for a minute. We'll come back to Lumen Cache because I don't know for sure. I know you can do. Let's see. LED preferences. Transitions. Timed light fade. So this one here will do a fade when you've got your nightlight timer set to something. Transition crossfade, enable palette transitions, apply presets. I don't think anything here is going to do that. That's audio reactive version, so we should look at the regular version 2 here instead. Sure, I'm just going to look through every menu. I don't think so. Does anybody else know where you would do that? Yeah, in nightlight mode you can do it, Nicholas, right? So nightlight mode can do it, but is it just any time you walk, like anytime you want them to turn off? I guess, so here's what you could do. Okay, here's my, is there ever too much Home Assistant kind of a mind here? So if you have your wLED in Home Assistant, and if you've got motion sensor in Home Assistant, you're talking about when you leave the room. So if you leave the room, if at a certain point with no motion, if your nightlight turns on, which I think in Home Assistant, right? If you go to Home Assistant, I think there's a service for that. Is there a service for wLED to turn, set effect, set preset? Is there a nightlight effect? Can you, or not nightlight, but is there a way to turn on the nightlight in wLED, like turn on the timer? Will I be able to make a presentation or video in the future? You're connecting two pieces. Ooh. HCSR501s. I'm not sure what that is. Turn the LED strip on or off. I'm not sure what that is. How do you set to turn on the LED strip from right to left if the motion sensor is active, and from right to left if the motion sensor is active? Browsing. Login attempt to request invalid authentication despite logging in. Fine. Any ideas? DJ, I don't know for sure what it is that's causing that, but sometimes it's just your add-ons or something's got a wrong password maybe or something. I want all the lights to fade out with my motion sensors. So not only the LED strips, but also the kitchens. It's on or off. I want it to turn on and fade it out. I don't know. Not sure I know for sure how to do that. I'd say you're not talking about just wLED, you're talking about regular lights too, and you want your regular lights to fade to off, huh? I'm not sure. I'm just trying to see if I have a regular wLED nightlight off. Oh yeah, so there you go. So there's the nightlight switch. So this will turn on and turn off your nightlights. So this one is just for whatever it decided was generic wLED. So desk LED nightlight. Okay, so it does make an entity for your nightlights. So you can set it so that the trigger is no motion and that one of the actions is to turn on the nightlight. Then you'd have to have the timer set in the nightlight for like a minute or whatever you want, whatever period you want it to dim over. And then you can say, so then it'll dim over that period of time. Okay. Dim to off. That's just wLED. How are you going to do that with a regular light? I don't know. Light component has a transition, Stone Obscurity says. Okay. So if you have a light entity, I guess office wall backlight? I don't even know what that means. Oh yeah, I know what that is. So let's just try and find light component has transition. So let's see, Home Assistant, light component. Let's turn this off so we're not burning anyone's retinas. Transition, yes. Number that represents the time in seconds the light should take to transition to the new state. Great. There you go. Okay, so when you're setting up a light entity, can you do it with a light that's like auto-discovered in Home Assistant? Let's see. So if we go to Office Light, let's see. The trick is, you have to have, it has to be a dimmable switch. So it has to be a dimmable bulb. So you can't do this if you've got like a regular AC switch. Even if it's connected to an LED bulb, you've got to be able to dim it. So this is only going to work if you have an LED type of dimmable bulb or an AC switch that is a dimmer. So let's go here. Let's see. History, settings, advanced settings, change device area. So I think you'd have to call that out in the YAML. Like you'd have to define this yourself. Most lights do not support all attributes. You can check the integration documentation of your particular light for hints, but in general, you have to try things out and see what works. Yeah, and if your light was auto-discovered, because it's a Tuya light or something like that, or an MQTT, I don't know, whatever. If it's auto-discovered, then that particular integration may or may not use the transition entity. If you have set it up yourself with YAML and defined the light as in something that is, totally generic. Say you've got a Tasmota light bulb, then maybe you can use transition and set it to 30 seconds or something like that. But that would be the only ways I can think of. You can just call the service. What service? You can just call light turn off. And then here's the transition. Well, there you go. Thank you, Sam. You just made that so much easier. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. So there you go. Just like that. So when you're doing your action, who was this that was asking? Was it Mike? No, it wasn't Mike. It was somebody else. I don't remember who was asking now. But whoever it was, oh yeah, it was Arjun. So when you got to set up your automation so that your trigger is your motion stopping. And then your actions, along with your actions, is light turn off, pick which light you want to turn off, pick an area, pick a device, pick an entity. So like boys closet, and then the transition of over how many seconds you want it to turn off, and then call the service and it'll turn off over that amount of time. Wow. If you don't keep up with Home Assistant like every month, there's stuff going on there I didn't know. I mean, I knew there was a transition thing, I guess, but I didn't know that all that stuff was in the call, like all this stuff in the call service thing. I didn't know that was all here. That makes it so easy, so much nicer. Home Assistant is hands down the best way to make wLED what you want. Almost limitless options. Awesome. Home Assistant to scene the motion sensor, then call presets with services you want. Amen. Can the Amazon girl do the fade out? The Amazon girl. Can she do the fade out? So if you tell her to turn something off, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. How useless is that? Huh? Boom. Add all lights to a light group and transition that group off. You could also do, I mean, the way this was showing it, you can also do it by an area, right? If you just pick like the office, you wanted to turn everything off in the office. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's not going to work because these lights don't do transition. YAML mode. Yeah, this transition, they're not going to do transition. And my lights aren't, they're not paying attention. Maybe I don't have them set. I don't even know what lights are in the office area. I would have expected that I have some lights in the office area, but maybe not. You got some Home Assistant catching up to do. Amen, Chris. You are right about that. Some lights let you define a default transition. I built that into my ESP home bulbs. Oh, awesome. So in that case, you just tell it turn off and the bulb itself knows the transition. Oh, that's nice. Does it just wait till the end of the transition and turn them off if they can't dim? I guess we'll find out in about 15 more seconds if all my lights turn off, huh? I'm about 9 months behind with Home Assistant at the moment. Upgrading is looking scary. Well, Sai, for what it's worth, I think we're really, it seems like breaking changes are a thing of the past. It just doesn't seem like too many things really get broken anymore, like maybe they did a year or two ago. So I think you're pretty good. They updated the call service page a while ago, so it's much nicer now. Amen. Those are defined as switches. If it's on up. Oh, you know why? You know why my light didn't turn off? I know why. Because for me, it's not a light. It's a switch. Mine are all switches. So if I do the switch turn off, let's go to the UI mode, and then I pick an area and I pick the office. Now, because it's a switch, it's not giving me the transition. You see that? It's not giving me the transition option because it's a switch. It's not a light. So you got to make it, it has to be a light entity. It can't be a switch in order to get that transition option. Yeah. So you have a couple more options, flash and transition, when you're using light. Switches don't dim. Gosh, why didn't I think of that? You can tell a switch that it's also a light. Now you've said it. It's officially your fault if it goes horribly wrong. Oh, Clint says, be careful with the Nginx reverse proxy change. Oh, I wish I knew what that meant. Does wLED show up as a light? Yes, some call it fun. wLED does show up as a light. Let's see, what lights do I have that are lights? Oh, gosh. A lot of these are from, yeah, these are wLED. Yep, there they are, turned on. Oh. Yeah, those show up as a light. Faux show. Faux show. Ugh. Wendy, where do you tell it to show up as a light? Is there good enough? I remember something about that in Tasmota, but let's see. Let's go here. And, oh, I guess I can't do it there. I gotta do it here. I kind of remember this, but we should do it anyways. Switch dot. All right, so let's go to this one. My office crowns. We should tell this thing it's a light. Can we do that? Advanced settings. Change device area, set entity area only. Enable entity, advanced, flash crown, related. Where do you do it? Look in the Discord live chat. Posted one of yours. Okay, cool. Okay, so you do it. You have to define it in YAML. Platform switch, entity, switch office track 2. So it's a light, and then the platform is switch, and then the entity ID. I'm missing something there. That's in lights.yaml. Okay. Go to lights config. Tell it a switch is a light. Want to become famous? Buy followers? Oh man, that's a great idea. Dimmable PWM wall switches show up as lights. Make sure the things you want are switches in your area. Wouldn't want the switch controlling computer monitor or soldering iron to respond when you're trying to adjust your lights. Faux show. That's why I don't want to go to switch and just switch everything off in my office, because there's probably a lot of unintended consequences that will go along with that. Okay, well that was a fun little sidetrack. I still want to look through my Lumen Cache stuff here. Throwing things on the floor. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Okay, so here, those were constant current drivers. I do also have a few constant voltage drivers. I think that's what these are. Not 100% sure. Why can't I open this bag? Scissor teeth. So these are switched voltage. V out equals PDM V in. 1.2 amp max fuse, 60 watts, 60 volt DC max. So these are, yeah, I think these are the drivers for a different kind of lights. The dumb lights, I would call them, I guess, maybe. This is cool. This is my fanciest switch. So he had some of these switches that were pricey, quite pricey. But this is kind of a, I don't know, not quite a HA switch plate kind of a thing. But basically, it's this smart version of a switch. So I should be able to program different things. So, you tap one of these and it does something else. You tap something else. You double tap and hold, and you can program all these kinds of things in here to do different stuff. So that's my one fancy switch. I only bought one of those because they're like $100. It's crazy expensive. That was ridiculous. Oh, these are the switch modules. So these little modules you put in the board, and this is what you do for a switch. So if I had just a switch that wasn't part of the lighting circuit, it would get one of these little guys. Okay. Why are you out of your box, little guy? Oh. What are these? Fan cable. Oh, 12 volt out. 24 to 48 volt in, 12 volt out. So this would be a way to make things like a regular LED strip kind of do stuff. Or maybe because it says fan cable, maybe this is just so you can power anything. Oh, that's right. These are just so you could power like I was thinking of like a charger, Reconnects, then it can turn the lights down. I'm not sure. I'm just playing. I'm playing with my stuff right now. One vexing issue, and I run the lights. Okay, I can't. I have to keep going. These are for the lights themselves, I'm pretty sure. So Ethernet goes in, Ethernet goes out, and then here, this goes out to your LEDs. I wonder what the voltage is that goes out here. In, out, it's SIB, SE. This goes on the fixture, I'm pretty sure. On the light fixture. And you've got something over here. What is that? 12 volts, ground. D plus, D minus. So here you got some pins for data communication stuff. That should go to your LEDs. Last LED. Oh, okay. So this, if it's the last one, then you need to tell it it's the last one. And then I think after that, it can talk to a switch. There is so much I don't know about how to do this stuff still. Got a whole box of those. So much I don't know. You would think you'd buy a bunch. You buy a bunch of stuff and you would just know what to do with it. Here's switches. These are just some regular old switches. Kind of a different color brown, unfortunately. Like the brown that we have for the plates is a darker brown. But these will be nice. It's just a regular switch. Just a little rocker switch. I thought I bought more than that. There's only 5 switches. I certainly have more than 5 switches in my house. And then we have the brains of the operation here. This thing, power distribution module. This is the stuff. So with this, you can do stuff like that. So that would be the switch module there. And then you have your driver, right? Where'd my box of drivers go? I think then this. Oh, I see. These can go here also, huh? Box of drivers. I don't know which way they go, so I'll have to make sure we get that right. Oh, yeah, they do go this way. But then this jumper, they hit the jumper. So maybe when you put this in here, you got to move the jumper out of the way. That jumper's in the way. Lighting channel jumpers. Accessory module. I wonder what goes in there. Maybe these things. Oh yeah, for sure. Accessory module goes like that. I got so much stuff still to read on the instructions. And then my power supply didn't come yet. So that's where you wire in the 48 volt power supply. I'm excited. This is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of learning still. And this isn't everything because I don't have the actual picture or the actual fixtures or some of the other. I don't have enough light switches, that's for sure. But I'm not sure you have to have their light switches. I think you can do any switch almost. Just you have to have the Ethernet connector on there. So I got a lot to learn. Hoping that it's cool. Hoping that it's fun. Hoping that it works well. All right, what did I miss in all this chatting here? Their strips. Drill their slips. I'd like one kid pick a preset and effects. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're talking about lights in your kid's room and stuff. Those go there. I need to play with this some more. But I guess I can't really play too much without the power supply. Or the lights. What's this one? Oh, there's no light switches. Watch a bunch of the training videos. Would be happy to help you figure it out. Awesome, Jordan. You know, I need to do that too. Are you going to get a system like this? RTM for that? What's RTM? Time to RTM. Don't want the magic smoke. Oh, read the manual. Gotcha. Yeah. Definitely don't want to just start plugging stuff in on that one, huh? For sure. What else? Can anybody recommend BR30 RGB lights? I don't know what that is. What's BR30 RGB lights? Z-Wave or Wi-Fi? What is this? BR30. Oh, BR30 is a style of light? So you want that style light, BR30 light bulbs, I see. So you want a smart bulb, huh? Zigbee or Z-Wave or Wi-Fi? I'm not, don't do too much with the bulbs myself. Don't do too much with the bulbs. Because it feels like if you have the bulb, then you don't need the switch, or you want the switch all the way on, but I have the Pixel Pro version 4.1. What is the best LED strips for it? WS2812s or 2811s are the best. I mean, most of the time. Return to manufacturer. Maybe that might be what they meant. Why not just connect things? This is your magic. Yeah, that's what I do, huh? Anything for a recessed lighting can. I see, John. I see. BR30 EcoSmart Zigbee are $10 for a 2-pack, Stone Obscurity says. That seems good. Fluffy Programmer. Thank you, Fluffy Programmer. We haven't done this little fat unicorn for a while. Fluffy unicorn. At Home Depot. Oh, it's so pleasant. Such a pleasant song. RTM or do the other RTM. Either one, huh? I can't do the other RTM. I have now a house full of Ethernet cabling for lighting at the Hobbit house. So I can't be returning nothing to the manufacturer on that. I got to get that to work. There's no not letting that work. 80,000 nuts. What should I do? What should we do about those nuts? Yeah, I think if they'd have said RTFM, I would have recognized it. Just RTM, I didn't recognize. Oh, you want RGB ones too, John. You want RGB. Oh man, gosh. BR30 that are RGB. I don't know, guys. Who makes good ones? Is Zemismart still making good ones? The Tuya probably has a lot of them. I don't think... Did Sonoff stop making those kinds of bulbs? None of them were great. None of them were great. None of them were great. Par 30. You want 30 of them. Previously, I had them set up on a separate D1 Minis. I started running into issues with combined variable presets after putting them on the quad. Oh. I see, Clint. So you're trying to get, so you have one quad and you're trying to have each kid run, have a separate control of their segment, kind of. Is that what you're saying? I could see where that would get kind of crossed up. Because if one, and let me see if this works how I think it would. If you had, say, you had a segment, or you have several segments. Say you got 3 segments, and for one of your presets, you set segment 1 to do a certain effect. For another preset, you set segment 2 to a different effect. What does that do to segment 1? Does it leave segment 1 alone? Does it turn segment 1 off? Or does it turn segment 1 on? At the wrong thing, right? Intersectingly shocking. Run it through Home Assistant and give them each their own page to control their wLED segments. Ooh, that's a nice idea. How are they controlling them, Clint? Are they going to the wLED app generally? My kids like buttons. They want a switch on the wall they can just push. So I usually just have it cycle. So, a one press on the button will cycle it to the next preset, and then they all have got their presets. Or they have their presets. Ooh, RFID card scanner. Oh, that's awesome. You're doing it via the API in Home Assistant. So when they scan a certain RFID card, then they get a certain effect. I see. I haven't played with it enough to give you a great response on that. But you got Quindor here and some of these other guys, so maybe they can tell you better the best way to do that. Because what does happen when you do segments like that? So let's play. Let's play. We're gonna play. So do you have them on different pins or all on the same pin? When I send the JSON from Home Assistant, it specifies the segment. Okay. So let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's go to this one. Yeah. Okay. This one's on. How many? Let's see if we can break this up into segments. Let's just do like a few different segments. How many LEDs do I have here? I don't even know. There's about 30. So let's go to configuration. Oops, no, let's do this. Why can I not do segments? Okay, that's segment 0. Let's add a segment. 5. This. Oh no, wait, back up. Segment 0. We want this one to go to 5. No. Okay. And then we want this segment to be starting at 5 and going to 10, let's say. Oh, cool. Yeah, so then now they're red and green. You guys can see this. So some are red and some are green. So now I got 2 segments. So then let's add another segment. And we'll have this go from 10 to 20. Made those green also. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh yeah, 10 to 20. Let's see if we go 10 to... Yeah, 10 to 50. Oh no, are they? Oh yeah, I thought maybe they looked yellow. I wonder why some are red and some are green. Anyway. All right, so that's 3 segments. Okay, so that's 3 segments. Now, when we want to do a preset, let's see. I want my... Oh, I think it's because it's too zoomed in. There we go. PC mode, that's what I want. All right, so let's create a preset. Let's set... First, let's turn off all the segments. And then let's just play around with turning one on. Oh, that turned on both. I turned on all of them. Oh, here it is, what I want. No. Oh, not why. That's why those are green. So I got to turn them on. There we go. Now we can turn them on and off. Okay, so the whole thing has to be on first. And then I can play around with these. Oops. Okay. So now we've got some that are red, some that are green, and some that are yellow. Okay. Some red, some green, some yellow. Great. Stretch those out so I can watch them. This is me just learning. This is me just tinkering. I haven't tinkered with this enough. Get on here and try and tell people how to do stuff. I don't know what to do. Okay. Is it like start LED and stop before LED? Show us the demo across the top of the screen. Oh yeah, I could. So it's barely even showing up anything on this, but there's kind of a yellow there. All right, so then let's say we want to do this. Let's say we'll take segment 1 and we're going to make it a certain preset. So now it's doing that, okay. But I want to turn off this one and this one. Okay, so I want to turn those off. And then I want to create a preset. And I want that to just be seg1. Save it. Okay. Now if I should have called it seg0, whatever. So now if I turn this one, say I turn that one off, and then the other kids, say the other kids had a different, they wanted to have this, which would freak me out a little bit, but say that's what they want for theirs. Okay. So let's create a preset. We're going to call it seg2. Okay. So if we press seg1, then seg2 goes off. If we press seg2, then seg1 goes off. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Rob. It was low. Thank you. Man, you're smart. So smart. So what can you do if one kid wants theirs on and the other kid also wants theirs on at the same time? You have to create a situation where you've got yeah, so then you'd have to do something like this where you've got this segment. Now you have to make a new preset. And you'd have to that preset would have to be like segment 1 and 2. Well, that would suck. Okay, so now you can go segment 1 preset. Okay, segment 1 preset, that's just that one. Segment 2 preset is just the other one. Segment 1 and 2 is both of them. So if you want your kids, oh man, that's tough. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know. Or click preset to see the JSON it's sending. Do you get to see the JSON in here? Save segment bounds.
So what are you trying to do?
Reload the page. So somebody was trying to figure out, oh yeah, there it is. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Somebody was trying to figure out a way to have, if I understand it right, they were having a different, they have, like, say we've got the lights in the girls' room, and they wanted like one part for one kid to be able to control and another part of the strip for another kid to be able to control.
Oh, I see.
And the problem is when you do it, when you separate it up by like that, you can set a preset for that segment, and then you can set a preset for this other segment, so the kids can pick their presets. But
If they want them,
if one of them turns on, the other one turns off, because when it saves a preset, it saves it for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And in this preset, that one was turned off, so it's kind of a pain.
I mean, you could do that makes, you know how most things, they hit the button and you hit
It
the button
cycles.
once, it cycles, right?
Yeah.
Do something like that. That's not the best solution, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's a tricky problem. That's a tricky problem. All right. Where do I find these Lumen Cache instructions again? If you have 4 kids, just use DigQuad with 4 separate strips. JSON is the answer. When all else fails, try JSON. Lumen Cache lighting. How it works. Where are their videos? Jordan, where'd their stuff go? Like how it works kind of stuff. This is what our lighting is going to look like, Zach.
Yeah.
So this one's got, so here he's got so there's some modules here plugged in. And there's some accessory device module things plugged in there. This is the...
It's going to be one of those or all 4?
It's going to be 3. It's just one little panel like that. Okay. This is for like a whole building, like a commercial building or something.
Cool.
Huge. I think I may switch them back to separate Unos. Yeah, Clint, that might be the way to go. That's a bummer because you're probably like, oh, I could get rid of all these Unos. An Uno can have 2 outputs. That's true, too. Hello, Crazy Buster. I like what you were thinking, Clint. I just, we do go into a quad. You're thinking, oh, I got four kids, four outputs. But when you start doing presets and segments for that particular application, you kind of it gets a little hairy. You could probably do it, but you could totally do it. It's just got to be the right combination. Off the topic question. Oh my goodness. Does anyone know of a Wi-Fi motor stepper driver? Well, you can control a stepper motor with, a D1 Mini or whatever, and that's Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't know of a stepper motor that comes with one. Thank you, Crazy Buster. I haven't made any new videos in so long. I barely even could call myself a YouTuber anymore. I've made like 2 videos all year that were real videos. Electronics, lights, benefits, support. System design, general questions. Introducing. Playlist. Maybe this is it. I thought I'll have to ask Derek again. Yeah, this is some of it. I'll have to ask Derek again about where the because he had like a PowerPoint presentation that was really useful. Full-time streamer, almost, huh? Almost. Don't have wLED, but when sending the presets, you can modify the JSON so to not send any data for that first segment. Yeah, I think that's what Rob was trying to tell us. Right now, the strips share a 40 amp power supply. Would it be better to have them share the same power posts, put them on separate power posts on the same PCU or put them each on their own 20 amp. I think you can do just one power supply. I don't know that it makes a huge difference. You know, what's better? I don't know. Might not make a huge difference. If you had them on separate power supplies, you could power off some of them instead of having them all on all the time. But system design, motion sensor triggers inconsistent, DC power. And there's a lot of information here. I swear there was like a getting started, like for new installers. Power sources, batteries off grid. Ooh, that's me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is probably what's going to end up. I'm going to at least start with those. Anyways, that's fun. Hit or miss for a bit. I'll be getting the kids around. Yeah, where do I go, Jordan? Where do I go for this? Where's the I can't remember now. It's been too long since I looked it up. Is there a quick link you got handy where I can go for the basic install instructions? I think I know a lot of it, but I'm certain I need to refresh myself. Refresh yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm so funny.
You are hilarious. Oh, that's what these are.
Some of it. Yep, that's it right there. Not all of it, but that's a good part of it. Nothing. Probably call the kids up for sign off in a minute. What are they doing?
They're defeating the Ender Dragon.
They're fighting the Ender Dragon right now?
Yeah.
So they're not going to want to come for sign off?
Give them like, I'll go see how far they are.
Who are they defeating the Ender? Wow. Oh, excuse my. Oh, that reminds me. Didn't think I'd ever heard back when I emailed them. Oh, really? The Lumen Cache folks? Derek, I should have told Derek I was going to do this. Oh, I think it's blocking my links. Uh-oh. How about just Discord? Can you post it in Discord, Jordan? Or send it to me? Oh, look at that. It worked. It was white Thanos cheese. Yeah, the orange message is fine. Okay. Way back when you had them on the stream, I forgot till now. Training.lumencache. Okay. Okay. Training.
Maybe better. What?
Training.lumencache didn't work. Nope. Maybe it's training.lumencache.lighting, maybe? Because it seems like everything is lumencache.lighting. Nope. Yeah, I'll find it. Did I spell it wrong? C-A-C-A-T? No.
Just st.com.
I think it's .com. We're getting there. Anyways, this is terribly exciting, I'm sure, for everyone. Anyways, what else can we fix for somebody before it's time to go for the day? Anything else? Ugh. I know it used to be orders, like there's orders.lumencache, I thought. Yeah, orders.lumencache.com. So it must be training.lumencache.com. I wonder why it didn't come up the first time. No, that's not it. Huh. Just got WireGuard running on the Raspberry Pi, and it's nice. Good, Simon. Good. Is there any lag when using DigQuad wirelessly with X-Lights? Probably. Sprinkler 3. Any of those Wi-Fi ones are going to have... I mean, depends on what you're trying to do, how much data you're trying to send to it, and whether you're using an ESP32 or a 8266 or whatever. Hey, baby, you guys ready for sign off?
Yeah.
Okay, want to go grab the others? So, I mean, is there any lag? Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of lag. It might not be a bad enough, might not be a problem for you, but I won't be able to tell you. Yeah, exactly. Phil's got the right answer. Wi-Fi is always going to have some kind of latency, some kind of lag, some kind of product services. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you're good. All right, guys. I think it's time for sign off. You ready?
Nelson.
Yeah.
You don't have to shoot.
Wait, I'm gonna be. Oh wait, I have to fix.
What's he doing? Oh,
Yes,
Gwendor needs to hurry up on the ESP E32 ETH stock. Yeah. E31 lag via Wi-Fi is bad. Ethernet is night and day difference, I'll bet. Yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons for the Ethernet thing is just the dependability of the signal and the speed, right? Anybody have a good way to have a front porch lamp wired with a Zigbee dimmer to be on low and when someone arrives go high? Ooh, that's an interesting, that's a good concept. But I certainly don't have that. There's Dawson in his little thing. Okay, Zach with no head. All right, how are we signing off today, kiddies? How are we signing off today? How about you guys sign off while I sleep?
Okay, we're sleepy. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios.
What happened? What'd I miss? What'd I miss? Anyways, all right, guys. I'm going to take off for today. But thanks a lot. And we'll be back next week. We'll see you next week for sure. I may be by myself up at the Hoobit Hole next week. We'll see. So I'm going up every weekend, but not everybody else is. All right. Have a good one, guys.